So Ormuco started as a telco in 2008 based in Montreal, Canada. And working with our customers, we've expanded the portfolio to managed services. And our international expansion was really based on some of the world's top gaming companies. And the idea there was that top gaming companies just couldn't use public clouds for performance and latency requirements. They had users and developers spread out across the world. So because of that, they were spending a fortune in data center infrastructure and technology. So at that moment, we really saw an opportunity to become a software company. So we started writing code in 2013 and finally developed our hybrid cloud platform based on OpenStack and Docker containers to address the needs of not just gaming companies, but really enterprise companies and service providers from within their data center. And that's when we launched our services in Montreal, and today we're also in London, UK, Abu Dhabi, and Finland. We really believe that cloud is not a destination. Cloud is a delivery model. So customers are not going to AWS because they want their data in Seattle. They're going to AWS because it's easy, it's flexible, it's convenient. So the idea is that the problem that we see is 85% of workloads just cannot go to the public cloud because once it goes outside the data center, you will have compliance, security, and other requirements that you're not going to be able to meet. So where OpenStack really fits into cloud service providers, to enterprise customers, is the fact that it sits inside the data center, inside the cage. And by doing this, you are really able also to provide economics to your customers and provide them the same AWS feel, but from within the data center. So one of the bigger challenges with OpenStack has been its complexity. So, you know, OpenStack, it's made up of great building blocks, but when you're trying to really build it, it becomes complex, it takes time, it ends up taking a lot of resources. So we really believe in making it simple, and for cloud service providers and telcos, it's not just about that OpenStack layer, it's about billing and metering and seeing this utility really take life into their services. So you really need a complete solution. So there are services that are actually required that OpenStack today doesn't offer, but as a foundation, it is fantastic and the economics are really good. Being able to locate and run workloads inside a data center is extremely valuable to enterprise customers. So you look at how virtualization really became the phenomenon that it is due to the fact that you actually have control over it. And one of the key challenges is that when you're sending your workloads out of your data center, you lose that control. For data protection and data sovereignty, we've seen a lot of regulation being passed through, particularly in Europe and other countries, and it is very important for governments and enterprise customers to have an alternative to these public cloud providers. So OpenStack is a great alternative to that. Obviously, there needs to be effort behind it, an effort to build it, to operate it, and to manage it. But once it's there, we think that you're really replicating your data inside your data center, you're controlling the workloads, and you're meeting some of the regulations that you as a business need to meet. A great analogy is also that OpenStack is the cement, right? But it's not the apartment building. So at the end of the day, you need to pick those building blocks and create a full turnkey solution to start with infrastructure as a service, but then build beyond that. So we talk about networking technologies and virtual appliances that are being built on top of OpenStack. We've seen a lot of very good use cases at this conference where people are explaining on how they're using containers and Kubernetes and doing these different real-life applications on top of OpenStack. So at the end of the day, it's not just about the infrastructure. The user doesn't really care about the infrastructure. The user cares about the convenience, the flexibility, and how he's going to apply that to real-life situation and to business in general.